Hi, my name is Jared Carter with Carter Physiotherapy, where we specialize in working with runners. And I would say that well over half of our runners that come into the clinic with an injury are dealing with a very specific type of weakness that is very preventable. So this video is going to show you how to figure out if you have that weakness and a few exercises that you can do to help address it before it becomes an issue or to help with the current pain or injury you're already dealing with. So what that weakness is and how we're going to see if you are dealing with it is you're going to do a one-legged quarter squat. So you're going to drop down and you're going to look at what your knee does just naturally. Do a few of them and watch your knee. Now my knee stays right over my toes, but what we see in a lot of injured runners is the knee dropping inward like this. So it drops inward. What that can cause, that can actually lead to a ton of different problems: IT band, medial knee issues, plantar fasciitis, arch pain, even Achilles issues, and definitely hip and even low back issues. So it can really be at least part of a cause of a very large variety of running injuries. So if you feel or if you see that that's what's going on with your knee, and also if your opposite hip is dropping as you do it, so if you drop down, this hip drops down, this knee drops in, you kind of have a double whammy of weakness in the hip. And these are a few things you can do to start addressing it. So first is a variation of bridges. And even though when you're running, you're not on your back, and a lot of people would make that argument, this is still a really great exercise for the specific muscles that we want to target. So you're going to put the band right below or right above the knees, and you're going to start out by tucking the hips under, firming up the abs, lifting up to you're about in one line here. You're not going into an arch. You're just tucking up, keeping the low back nice and flat and the abs nice and firm. Hips level with or pointing straight out at the knees. And then you're going to hold that position and take the knees out and in against the resistance of the band, just like that. As you get tired, make sure that your hips aren't dropping as your knees go out, and especially make sure that you're not going into an arch of the low back when the knees go out. So really work to keep the abs firm and the hips tucked under so your back stays nice and flat. And I would do 3 to 4 sets until a really good fatigue or the point where you can't hold good form anymore. The next exercise, we're going to be doing lateral walking. The band can stay in the same position, and you're going to be stepping out to the side and then bringing the other leg in to meet. And you can just go back and forth like that, or you can take a few steps at a time. And what you're looking to do here is make sure that you're not leaning away as your foot goes out, and you're also not leading with the foot. So notice my knee is staying behind here. You want to keep the knee out over the foot and then bring the other leg in nice and controlled. So we're avoiding the lean away, keeping the shoulders over the hips, over the knees. A little pause between each step, nice and firm in the abs, and you're keeping yourself in kind of a quarter squat position. And then finally, this last one, preferably you do looking into a mirror. You're going to be on one leg with a slight bend of the knee, kind of like when you're running and you land. And first you're just going to work on making sure your hips can stay level and your knee isn't dropping inward when you're just balancing on one leg. If you can't do that, you don't need to do the rest of this. Once you've got that down, hips level, knees staying balanced over the foot, you can start doing arm movements as if you're running. All right? Once you get that down and you're able to really stabilize and make sure you're not dropping too far in here, or this hip is not dropping down, then you can start to add toe touches forward, sideways, and backwards. All the while looking in the mirror or looking down and making sure that the knee is staying stable over the foot and this unweighted hip is not dropping down. So try those exercises. Let me know how you're doing in the comments below this video, and I'll make sure to put a link to one of those stretch loops that you can get on Amazon so you can get started with all these exercises.